Hi,
Hi.
you look so pretty. I think we all put on makeup. Well, me did. I was like, oh, we're recording today. I should do something on my face.
I literally have not left the house in like 3 days because I've been so
Are
sick.
you feeling better, by the way?
I am, yeah. Today I am.
You
Yeah.
sound okay.
Thank you. My voice is
Good.
back.
Yeah.
I'm still a little nasally. I'm
You
trying
got
to
one of the, you got the flu.
yeah, I don't know what it is, but it
I
like
know.
started Friday night and it's been like miserable since then.
Did you like when you got it? Did you feel like at first like somebody like put a shovel in your face, like hit you with a shovel? Like, did your whole body hurt?
Yeah.
You got the flu that I had.
Uh,
Massachusetts, it's going around really bad.
yeah, like everyone in my office has gotten it and I was like bragging that I hadn't
Oh,
and
yeah, of course.
I got it.
Awesome.
It's
Hey,
what I get.
Adam, how are you?
How's it going, guys?
Good. Do you have your Bud Light ready?
No, I don't have. I have water today.
Yeah. I was watching the playback and I was dying laughing because I was like, I didn't notice that you had the Bud Light the entire time. I was like, this is hysterical. I love this kid.
I totally didn't notice that either.
Oh,
We're just waiting on Polly.
yeah.
Cool.
Bear with me. I've been feeling a little under the weather too.
Oh,
So
are you sick too?
yeah, I had the
Okay.
flu. Well, I don't know. It felt like the flu, but then I got better really quick. So I don't know. It must have just been a bad cold.
Okay.
But it started like 3 days ago and then went away already. So
Oh, that's lucky.
yeah.
You're lucky. I'm still dealing with mine after I think it's been 5 days.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
But I think tomorrow back to work. Gonna try to power through it.
I had the past 2 days off, like scheduled off, so it was good. I was able to kind of just hang out.
Yeah, that's good.
Now my only problem is everything's just sore from coughing so much, and
Yeah.
Did any of you guys take Mucinex?
No.
no.
Oh, that stuff like saved my life. Literally,
Really?
I had it. I had the cold for like 2 days. I took Mucinex, the liquid kind. Literally, I woke up the next day and it was like gone. It was
I
crazy.
wish you told me that like on Friday.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
It's expensive though because they sell them in a day and a night, and it's like
Yeah.
$25 like for the 2 bottles, which is really
Yeah.
pricey, but it's amazing and it like works in like 15 minutes. Like you automatically your scratchy throat will go away.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I've been like doing like the neti pot religiously and like Tylenol cold and sinus like every 4 hours. It's crazy.
Mm,
Ugh,
okay, no.
it has not been fun.
Mm. Were you able to read up a little bit, Adam, on the extra fast pass for the
Yes.
DVC?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did read up on it a little bit.
Okay, cool. If I also have the article, oh, so that was one thing is I found out it's confirmed. They started on Friday.
Okay.
This Friday, it's gonna start.
Oh, for the extra pass passes?
Yeah,
Okay.
and when I read you like some of the other stuff, um, it's kind of crazy. It's not just like we get 3 extra fast passes. It's like it's.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you read like the whole article from?
Yeah, they get like viewing for the fireworks too,
Yeah,
right?
they can
And
book
they
their
get
fast
90
passes
days.
90 days in advance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ooh, at
That's
first I was like, well, oh, we'll talk about it. But I like at first I didn't think it was that bad, but then I was like, that's not.
pretty bad. Yeah.
Good news for those of us who don't like standing in long lines at the happiest place on earth. Disney World is releasing a new.
That's okay. You can listen to it.
Oh no, that's all right. I just wanted to read this other article.
This is gonna be hard though, like talking like you're talking to people, like out there. So I have to remind myself at certain things, like they're not gonna know when I say certain things, like what the hell that means.
Right. It's not like we're just talking to each other anymore.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So I'm gonna have I say brief, but it might be like a couple minutes. I know, I don't think it's that long. It's probably like 45 seconds, like a little intro.
Okay.
And do you guys all have like a little intro? Because what I'm probably going to do is, and now I'm introducing the rest of the kids grown up, and then I'll start with one of you guys.
Yeah.
I might just do like Brittany, Adam, Paul when he gets, oh, there he is.
So you want us to just introduce ourselves, like a short introduction about ourselves after you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say, so with that said, let me introduce you to the kids grown up. And we'll go, just so I don't have to be like Brittany and Adam and Paul. You guys, we'll start with Brittany, we'll go to Adam, and then we'll hit Paul once he gets in.
Okay.
So are we just like saying our names and like where we're from, or?
Yeah, whatever you wanna do.
Okay.
If you wanna say your name, you can say where you're from. I don't know if you wanna put that out there.
Yeah. I was just gonna say like Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, give your name. You can say you're from Massachusetts. What you love about Disney, like briefly, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something like that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're gonna pretty much get from the intro that I have that we're all like Disney nerds.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 2 Pauls.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Winning. You sure there's not Bud Light in there, Adam? That's a red Solo cup.
It's like a hard shell Solo cup.
Okay, that's what happens when you're 21. All right, you're still in college, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Do you have the bug too?
No, we're all good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I was just kind of going over with these guys how we're gonna kind of go with the flow. Just because it's the first episode for filming, I'm just gonna give a brief intro on how it's all working, like what we're about.
Yeah.
At some point, like I'm gonna introduce myself and how we got the idea for Kids Grown Up, and then I'm at one point gonna have a cue that says, so with that said, let me introduce you to the Kids Grown Up. Brittany's gonna start with an intro about herself, then Adam,
Mm-hmm.
and then you. It's not gonna be prompted though. Like, so I'm not gonna be like, and Paul. You're just
no worries.
after Adam introduces himself, then you'll introduce yourself.
Okay.
Okay. As far as topics go, we're gonna start off with the club level getting their fast passes. I'm gonna read a updated article because it's not just a rumor anymore. It's been confirmed. They're gonna start on Friday. I know you're excited to talk about that one. You seem a little riled up. I think a lot of people are gonna be angry about that. So that might be like, maybe that'll be the title, like WTF. Extra passes for rich people? No. Then we'll go into the Coco ride, and then we'll go into the Epcot changes and the Epcot pavilions that they're adding in. Okay, so I'm just gonna, this is nerve-wracking. I don't want to do it. All right. Sorry, this is nerve-wracking. Okay, all right, here we go. All right. Oh, sorry. Ooh, I'm getting nerves. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's a little better. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Kids Grown Up. I'm really excited for this. This is basically going to be a little panel show. My name is Heidi. I'm a 90s kid, Disney kid at heart, and fell in love with the theme parks. And I made it my New Year's resolution to start a little YouTube channel for Disney fans. And I really love the idea of talking about Disney. So that being said, and loving Disney as much as I do, I follow a lot of vlogs and different things like that. And one of those is the Tim Tracker. And I'm actually part of one of his fan pages. I know that may sound a little weird. But from that, I met a few other cool people. And I told them about my idea for wanting to start this kind of panel show talk format about Disney. And they all really seemed to like the idea. So from that, we got our heads together and Kids Grown Up was born. So I'm going to let you guys find out who our Kids Grown Up are, and we're going to start with Brittany.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany. I'm from Massachusetts. I've been going to Disney since I was a little kid. And then as an adult, my love for Disney just grew and grew. Mostly I've been to Disney World. I went to Disneyland once when I was a little kid, and I hope to go back there soon. But mostly I'm a Disney World kid at heart, and I just love that it makes me feel like a kid again whenever I'm there.
Hi everyone, I'm Adam. I'm from upstate New York, and bear with me, I'm a little sick, but I just love Disney just because when you're there, you can kind of forget about everything else in the outside world. It's almost like an escape from reality for a while. Similar to Brittany, mostly a Disney World kid growing up. Only been to Disney World or Disneyland once. And yeah.
Okay, and I'm Paul. I'm 35 years old. I'm from Nottingham in the UK. A massive Disney fan. Bit of a nerd as far as Disney trivia comes in. Enjoy the classic Disney films, but really mad on the newer type of things, the Moanas, the Wreck-It Ralphs, and anything done by Pixar, basically.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to apologize. It's our first episode, so I'm really, really nervous. It took me about 3 tries before I could start making this like official start to this thing. So we are not professionals at all. I think Paul does a little bit of like broadcasting study on the side, but we are not like super Disney experts. We're not claiming to be. We're really just fans, and we're just wanting to have a format and a platform where everybody can talk about Disney. So what we're going to do is every week we're going to filter all through the rumors that are circulating the internet and maybe different videos and find some interesting topics and then kind of just discuss and debate them. I know this looks like a cable news format, but I promise we won't be yelling at each other. There may be some, I feel like because we are huge Disney fans, there may be some passionate responses, but everybody is really nice here. And we just want it to be like a fun, positive thing that you guys can come and check out and hear what we got to say. And if you guys have anything you got to say, I recommend you guys comment below in the comments, or if you guys have a question or topics that you want us to cover, please let us know, because like I said, we're figuring this out. So we're going to start with the first rumor, which has actually been confirmed. Let me pull it up here. It was circulating as a rumor on wdwinfo.com. But I was doing some research today on it, and this is actually from an Orlando news channel. I think it's channel 13 with their article. So, guests staying at select Walt Disney World resorts will soon have the option of buying additional fast passes. Guests will be able to buy additional fast passes available to guests staying in club level rooms. Optional cost $50 per person per day. So if you guys don't know what a club level room is, that's people that have booked the Disney Vacation Club, that they own Disney Vacation Club. Those are what those club level rooms are. So they stay in those rooms. They can sell their points. I don't know if the fast passes are going to be transferable to people that are buying points from or renting them out. I guess that'll be a question to ask. But a Disney spokesperson confirmed the information on Tuesday. The extra fast pass plus option will be available to club level resort guests. The 3 additional fast passes will cost $50 per person per day and be used at any park. Guests will need valid theme park admission. A minimum 3-day purchase is required for the add-on. So for one guest who wants to add the option for 3 days, it would cost $150. Club level resort guests will be able to add the option after making their reservation. The additional fast passes can be booked 90 days in advance instead of the usual 60 days for resort guests and 30 days for non-resort guests. With the fast passes, guests will get preferred viewing for nighttime spectaculars. The add-on is available to Disney annual pass holders who stay in eligible rooms. Disney World plans to roll out the pilot program Friday. The Fast Pass Plus service is still free of charge with theme park admission for the 3 regular fast passes. What do you guys think?
So, I mean, I'll start. I typically don't really have a problem with extra perks for annual pass holders or DVC members or that sort of thing, as long as it doesn't interfere with the vacation of a regular guest. And this situation is different in the fact that it would interfere, I would think, with a regular guest stay. You know, with rides like Flight of Passage or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train that are already really hard to get fast passes for. When you have these like one percenters, being able to get them 30 days ahead of a normal person and get even, more than a normal person would get, it's just not really fair. And it seems like Disney is valuing those guests more than the average guest. In the past, it seemed like what was so great about Disney was that it catered to all families, and it's seeming lately that that's more and more not the case anymore. And it's a little sad, I think. Yeah.
I think the other thing that we've got to bear in mind is that for a lot of people, a trip to any of the Disney resorts, it's a big spend. It's a lot of money that put forward, and to then potentially go and have to wait even longer because there's DVC members that are obviously taking advantage of what they're entitled to. There's no reason they shouldn't if they are entitled to it. But I do think that it might hamper the memories of some of the people that are perhaps going on that one trip where they've saved for so long, and aren't getting a chance to go on the attractions or see the shows that they want to see, really.
I think this has been like a growing trend lately. Like with the when they put the bungalows in Tomorrowland, they're not there anymore. I don't believe. I'm pretty sure they took them down, or the cabanas. I mean, and the express bus, like these add-on services that they keep trying out. It just seems like they keep trying to like they're giving out benefits that cost more money. But I think part of a Disney vacation is that everything's all included. And like I think that was like one of the best things about the Fast Pass service was that it was something that everyone can use and everyone's entitled to it. No matter if you're an annual pass holder or if you're just there for the day, you can get a Fast Pass. And the fact that other people, like people can get 3 more Fast Passes, that's like a huge deal. If you go to Animal Kingdom, I think there's only 6 rides you can get a Fast Pass for. You can just get a Fast Pass for every ride in the park, which just seems kind of ridiculous to me. So yeah, I'm not happy about the change, but it appears to me like Disney must be suffering in their parks sector if they have to make these changes or have to be charging these add-ons and stuff, which doesn't make much sense to me with new stuff they're opening. So I'm not really sure why it's this way.
So initially when I heard the rumor, I didn't think it was that big of a deal when it was just, okay, well, you have to pay $50 per person per day, 3-night stay, $150 for one person for 3 days. I'm like, if you want to be the idiot that pays for that much money to get 3 extra Fast Passes, be my guest. Because I think it was proportionate to the fact that Disney also this year decided to run another test program where they allow people that are staying at a Disney Springs hotel to get all the same benefits as resort guests. I don't know if you guys had heard about this, but they're doing this little trial run where if you're booking through Disney at a Disney Springs Good Neighbor hotel, you still get to do the Magical Express. You get to do your Fast Passes 60 days in advance. You get the extra magic hours, which I thought was awesome because Disney Springs hotels are almost like half the price of what a regular Disney resort hotel is. So it allowed families that maybe couldn't afford to stay, even at the Ulsters. The Ulsters are pricey for just motel style rooms. But at Disney Springs, you're getting a nicer room a lot of the time. You know, you're getting a name people recognize, like a Best Western and a Hilton, and they still have the character breakfast, and you're right next to Disney Springs, but still get all the perks. So I was like, okay, like they're giving more perks to DVC members. I understand that, but they're doing this, which is huge. I think that's awesome. So for a lot of people that financially can't afford to stay on the parks. It was when I saw that they get like preferred viewing for the nighttime spectacular or, you know, things like that, because in February, I'm going to Disney and we bought the Tomorrowland Terrace dessert package to see Happily Ever After, to see the fireworks. Those tickets, I think, are like, I don't remember how much exactly I spent. It was somewhere between the $60 to $80 a person range. But for $50,
they're like $80.
They're $80.
Yeah.
For some dessert, which nobody eats. They're little BS cupcakes that you can get anywhere in the. No offense, but we paid it because his parents are a little bit. We're going with my husband's parents. It's their 40th anniversary, so we decided to take them, and they can't really do large crowds. So we were like, This gives us a place to sit, air conditioned, they're a little older, and then have a nice garden view of the fireworks. But for $50, you're telling me you can, you get to get your 3 fast passes, but it's only offered to these specific people and get specified viewing, because I bet you it's going to be in that same area, that garden view area. I don't see where else you're going to get preferred seating.
Yeah.
So it was that, and then 90 days in advance ticket, 90-day fast pass you can do. How's that going to work?
I think sorry, go on,
No,
Brittany.
go ahead.
I was just going to say another thing. We obviously all sound like we're coming from a similar point of view with regards to not being DVC members. But what about those people that are DVC members? I would be really upset if I was thinking, I'm committing to Disney, I'm paying whatever I need to pay.
Right.
I'm an elite member, as I think they call it.
And then they're charging you
And
more.
now Disney are now saying we want another $150 per person
absolutely.
to offer this service.
Mhm.
Part of me wouldn't feel as bad as if they said this is just an extra service we're offering to.
Yes.
It seems very much to me like a bit of a money making venture.
Yeah. Oh, they're nickel
and then
they can.
And then where is it going to stop? If this takes off, do normal fast passes then become a membership thing? Are you paying a little bit more to get a normal fast pass? Because as it stands at the minute, obviously the normal fast passes are staying as they are. But later down the line, do we start seeing, well, if you want to use the fast pass, you've got to pay $20, $30 a day?
Do you know what I think is actually?
It's where it stops.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to limit the amount of fast passes you can get. Like, there's going to be a certain amount of fast passes that are allowed to go to the people that can book out 90 days because they have this extra pricing. Then it'll get cut down. So then they're going to get first dibs. So then there's a certain amount of time allotted that you can put these fast passes out, and a certain amount of people are allowed to, number-wise, are allowed to put down a fast pass. So the 90 days will get first dibs. And what happens if Mindtrain has whatever amount of fast passes you're allowed to have? Maybe it's like 1,000 or 2,000. 90 days goes first. What happens if all those 1,000 fast passes are taken up by that? Does that mean to go and say that poor people can't ride Snow White's Mine Train?
Right, like they wouldn't even have a chance to get them at all. Like there's
Never.
absolutely zero chance that you get to ride these rides. Like,
sorry.
Yeah.
I think aren't they already charging for the Max Pass service in California? Like I don't think you have to pay to get a fast pass, but to book them ahead of time online or whatever.
Yes, but everybody has the opportunity for Max Pass.
Right. I don't necessarily have as much of a problem with that as I do this.
Right.
Also, I guess even if it's like $50 is a lot for 3 extra fast passes, but if it was available for everybody, it would feel like less of an issue, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a classist kind of thing a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like it's not even just $50. Like if you want those extra fast passes, you have to buy DVC. Like that's not cheap.
Well, you have to buy DVC and you have to commit to 3 days of it.
Right.
You have to spend that $50 is $150 right off the bat for one person.
It just seems kind of.
I think it's been intentionally priced at a range that it's that thing of $150 is a lot of money for anybody.
Yeah.
But if you're spending a couple of $1,000s on a trip to Disney, it's that idea of, well, it's only another $150, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's almost tapping into that that feeling that people have of you're going to go on this trip and we want it to be as special as we can. So just give us this little bit of extra money and we'll make it a little bit more special for you.
Or what I don't understand is why didn't they just make this an internal thing? Like if it was just a pilot program that they're only offering to DVC members, why didn't they just do it through like a mail out flyer to people that have DVC and just be like, listen, we're running this test program. Like why was it made as a public announcement and a public confirmation so that everybody can feel bad? I don't get the point.
Well, I mean, I think normal, like your average guest can book a club level room.
Right.
But you know, they're paying more than a DVC member would be paying for the room, obviously. So maybe that they're trying to entice people to pay the extra money and book the club level rooms rather than a standard room. I don't know.
I did see a couple of posts where people were saying that they had inquired about booking accommodation and were told by cast members they were booking with, you might want to hold off until Friday because there's a special offer coming, and they weren't actually told what it was, but obviously this seems to be what.
What
Oh, wow.
So the staff at the resorts knew something was coming, or at some of the resorts at least knew something was coming, whether they knew what it was or not. But we're definitely telling people to hold off with bookings until
Right, and then
now.
on the other hand, you have to look at it. If this is something that's obviously being targeted towards 1%ers, on average, you get a collective mix of different people that go to Disney World. So this is only going to be for 1% of the people that normally go to Disney World, I would imagine, kind of. So is it really going to affect anything? Or
I think it might affect it.
Find it unfair.
I think it might affect it more than we think it will. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
The more I sit here and think about it, though, like if you're say you're a family of 4 going to Disney, which is like the average family that goes to Disney, normally like a family of 4, family of 5, like that's almost, you're there for 3 days. That's what, $450. 4 days is $700 or something like that. Like that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but when you look at how much those club level rooms are, and you're talking about between $400, $800,000 a night, it's not anything for them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one night.
It's a lot of money for us, but for the people that are spending the money to stay in those rooms,
That's
it's
fair.
like
Yeah,
pocket
I'm just
change.
looking at it from the perspective of like $600 for a family. That's like almost like a quarter of what a family might pay for a vacation in all
No,
season.
because those people that are booking club level rooms, if they're staying for a week, they're paying minimum $5,000 to go to Disney with the tickets and the type of room they have, and they're probably getting like the level 3 Disney dining package and doing all those perks. They're doing the tours, they're doing all that. So I don't know. I guess we'll see if it affects the average Disney fan.
Yeah, and Heidi, you made a good point too about the dessert parties.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, where are they going to put these people that are getting this preferred viewing areas? Like, are they going to be discontinuing the dessert parties now to make room for this?
Or
If
they're
it's
going to be
popular
crowding
enough?
the crap out of them.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it's going to be just as bad as watching it from Main Street.
right,
And there's
Right.
not a point.
right.
Then they'll end up canceling the parties, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll
Or
get
no,
more
people wanna-
revenue from that $150 per person for 3 days than they will from one dessert party.
Right.
See, that's the point, that they bring the super fast pass in, where you pay $300 and then you get preferential viewing over the people that have just got the DVC fast pass.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. All right, it's getting me mad. We're gonna go on to the next one. Okay. All right. So there was a Disney podcast this week that mentioned the Coco update to the Grand Fiesta Tour at Epcot in the Mexico Pavilion may not happen due to a poor showing in the box office. So when I sent you guys that rumor early on this week, different questions I asked was like, did you see Coco? Were you a fan of Coco? What do you think of the original ride? Does Coco deserve to have a ride?
Okay, I'll just jump in first, because being on the tiny little rock that is the UK, we've not got Coco yet. It doesn't open until, I think it's the 19th of January over here. We've not even got the preview screenings yet. So I've not been fortunate enough to see it. What I will say is that I am going to see it. Obviously, I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, you've said about it having a poor showing at the box office. Pixar very rarely goes wrong, in my opinion. Even the films that don't seem like standout films when you first watch them. A perfect example for me is Inside Out. First time I watched Inside Out, nothing. I was, what is this? You watch it again, and every time you watch it, it just gets better and better and better. And is it a case of people are seeing Coco and perhaps need to see it again, need to watch it more intently? But I don't know. Like I say, I've not seen it yet, so I can't really comment. But I will definitely be giving it a watch. But I'll let you guys discuss the ins and outs of it.
So I also haven't seen Coco yet, but I've read a lot
Shame
about
on
it.
you.
Sorry.
I said, shame on you. How have you not seen Coco?
I could go down the street and watch it, unlike Paul. Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, but like from what I've heard of it, I've heard like great reviews. I'm surprised to hear. I don't know the actual numbers, but I'm surprised to hear that the box office
Right.
hasn't been as high, because I know like the reaction within the Disney community has been great. Everyone's saying the movie's fantastic. So, yeah, I'm very surprised by that. I'm actually gonna look up what the.
Well, I saw Coco and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I was, like many other people, not the biggest fan of the Frozen short ahead of Coco. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it didn't really fit, and it was way too long, and it just didn't really make sense. But that aside, I've seen nothing but positive things about Coco, so I'm also really surprised that it didn't have the numbers that they were expecting. I thought it was great. I loved it. I cried twice. I thought it was so good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, is it a case of, is it a bad, I mean, was it November time it came out in?
It came out on Thanksgiving.
Okay, I mean, is for someone in the UK, is that traditionally a time when, is that a movie time in the States? Is that a...
Yeah, a lot of people after they eat dinner, because kids have that week off or the 4 days off, it's considered a big time for us. Like it's like that crunch right before the holiday season really starts. Once Thanksgiving is over, Christmas is everywhere. So I saw Coco. I was obsessed with it. Being Latin, it was cool to see a Disney movie doing a culture right, because a lot of times it is very stereotypical. So the movie, I did some research. So it did get a Golden Globe on Sunday for Best Animated Feature. It hit 500 million in the box office. I think the issue is, and it's actually the 4th highest rated Pixar movie, just to give everybody so far. So it's done well. I think what Disney was expecting was another Frozen. I thought thought there were going to be little kids everywhere wanting to be the main character with the guitar, and it hit boys the way Frozen hit girls, and I don't think it did. So I think that may be what the resistance is. I don't think merchandising sold as much as Frozen or Toy Story or like those things did. I think that's what the issue is. And I don't know if that, because it is a cultural difference, I don't really know. What I will say is I think anything would be I think Coco, because it did so well to honor the culture, would do way better at Grand Fiesta Tour than what they have now at Grand Fiesta Tour. Because I believe it's a cute ride, but it's very stuck in its time, that it is a caricature of what Mexican people are. It's very 1990s. What is a Mexican? And and I think especially now that kids probably have friends that are Mexican, and Mexicans are all over the country, like they're relatable. They're American, so a lot of them. So I think it's just, I think even if it didn't do the merchandising, I think they owe it, as far as integrity, to put Coco in Grand Fiesta Tour or in the Mexico Pavilion, because it's not right. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I like the ride, and I like that it's not super popular, so there's never a line. And if you ever want to like escape the heat and just go sit on a nice relaxing ride, it's there. And that wouldn't be the case anymore if Coco, and I'm sure. But that said, I agree with you that it deserves a more genuine story.
Mhm.
Like it deserves something that speaks to the culture more than Donald Duck.
And mind you, Coco was so beautiful. Like, it was just a beautiful movie. How beautiful would that be to be in a ride? Like, to be able to like take a journey through like the Dios de los Muertos land with all the lights and the color and everything like that. Oh, like if you imagine the technology they put into Pandora with all the light, what they could do just even on half that scale in a Coco ride, you would be waiting 3 hours in line.
Yeah, with like the flower petal bridge.
Oh my God, yeah. And the animatronics that they could do with the skeletons and everything like that. Oh, and the song "Remember Me," I couldn't get that out of my head for like 3 weeks. It was amazing.
Yeah, same.
I'm definitely all for putting something, a Coco ride into Grand Fiesta Tour. I think if you asked me a few years ago, I don't think I'd be on board for that. But since they already have the Frozen ride, and that ended up working out very well for Disney, and they're putting Ratatouille into France. I think at this point they have to kind of keep it. They have to keep like the continuity, and if they're going to put like IPs into World Showcase, and I think if there's a movie that fits like a country and they can do it right, I think they should. So,
if anything, I feel like Coco would fit in the Mexico Pavilion even more than Frozen fits in Norway.
Right? Yeah, totally.
Because it's actually like it's real Mexican traditions. It's not, a made up Arendelle land that's not even a real place that they just kind of like shoehorned into Norway. Like
it might just be me. I hate the Frozen ride. Like I hate it. Like I would rather have the Vikings. Bring on the Vikings. I couldn't.
Yeah, Maelstrom was great. I was kind of upset.
It was cute. It had that vintage 1950s, 1960s thing that Epcot has in some of the pavilions. But I mean, I guess it had a go, but I didn't think Frozen was the greatest thing there. All right. Okay. So we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I guess we'll finish with the last rumor, which is it's reported that there may be as many 3 World Showcase Pavilion editions, with Brazil and Spain being the most likely. It's also indicated that any additions would also be already represented by Food and Wine Festival booths. And the Circle of Life will be closing at Epcot to make room for the Brazilian Pavilion. So what do you guys think of this? What do you think of the countries that they picked?
You said Brazil, Spain. What was the other one?
Brazil and Spain. They haven't announced the last one yet. But say you had the option to pick that third one. What would you pick? Or would you get rid of Brazil and Spain altogether?
That's a good question.
I personally love Brazil and Spain, and I think that there needs to be more like representation from South America. In terms of food alone, I'm really excited for that because I think that sounds amazing. I'm super on board with both of those choices.
But I've got no issue with either of those. My only thought is almost all the areas have some kind of tie-in now to a Disney franchise. What would the tie-in with either of those areas be, unless there's any upcoming films based in either? Or I know that Spain as a pavilion, I believe in 1982 was put forward. It
was put out
to be built, and then they decided not to. Excuse me. So my only thinking would be what would they involve? Obviously, it's going to have a landmark and theming of that area, and the food and the drink is self-explanatory. Other than that, it's a little bit. Well, what are we going to pop there?
I know when Spain was first introduced recently, it was supposed to tie in with Gigantic, the giant movie that was being made, but that's been canceled now. So I don't know how that's going to affect the possibility of a Spain pavilion at all, if it will.
Maybe Elena of Avalor, I know Avalor is like a fictional land. She kind of ties into more of the true Spaniard kind of thing. So just like, Frozen, what was the land in Frozen? It wasn't Norway.
Arendelle.
It was a fake place, but it was inspired by that country. So maybe they do that. Mm-hmm. As far as Brazil goes, I think it's just the food. I think they're more concentrating on the food and wine part of it. Food and wine has just become so huge that to incorporate more Latin American, South American countries, they want to give it a legit pavilion so that they could open up restaurants, Spanish-themed restaurants, Brazilian-themed restaurants. Mm-hmm. Epcot's definitely more adult for the most part, and I think Brazil and Spain would offer a little bit more like Spanish wine. The Brazilians have like their huge festivals and things like that, and I think that might offer somewhere else for the adults to go.
I mean, as far as suggestions for lands, just for my own selfish reasons, really, I'd love to see like a Polynesian themed area based around Montanui from Moana meet and greets, Polynesian food, island food. You could incorporate Lilo and Stitch into that. and have your meet and greets and what have you. I just think that would be a really good idea. I don't think there's enough Moana. At the minute, we're big on the Moana.
Nice. Anybody else with the country?
Can't think of anything at the moment. I do like the idea of like a Polynesian themed country though. That's pretty
Yes.
good.
You know what I thought would be cool?
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. India. I thought that would be really cool. Like all the colors and the Bollywood and the shows that they could do. I thought that would be neat. Then they could
India
do
would be
a
amazing.
movie.
The only reason I think that they maybe won't do that is because of Animal Kingdom.